next poet, Robin, I met last spring in of all places, the library in Stoke, Massachusetts, where I was asked to do a reading there, and there was other people there. Most of the people were over 60 years old. This is, not to put that down or anything, but I sort of felt a little out of my element, and I had, before I pressed to take out some poems that I thought would be suitable, I suppose. And Robin is the other person there that is also in her 40s, let's say, and she had a wild gleam in her eye, and it looked like she was ready for something else. And she asked me why I was reading. I told her about Naked City and Stone Soup, and sure enough, a few weeks later, she started coming to these places and reading. And I've had a chance to watch her work over the last 4, 5, 6 months, and it's really strong stuff, good metaphors, and she's strong by leaps and bounds. So please welcome Robin Lynn.
I just want to thank Richard for having me. Thanks. The first piece I'm going to read is called First Tie Your Shoes, and it's for Richard Scott, just because he likes it. On the stairs, the steps aren't always exactly the same height. Sometimes the climbing is spiral. Other times it seems like descent. Young knees often bang and scrape the walls. Old bones tend at times to creak and stiffen wearily. The days of being somewhere in the middle is frequently a confusing waltz of stubbornly forward and temptingly back. On the stairs, the top landing may never be seen. But then again, no effort towards ascent goes unrewarded. Excuse me, I guess I'm kind of nervous. This is called Provocation of Integrity. Tell me, what is justice? A child arriving on this earth, framed from birth to bear the brunt of its father's ignorance. A capitalistic deliverance, bringing babes to guns, flowing blood and desert sun, the sacrifice of mother's soul, the sadness hidden in black gold. A culture caught in holes of monetary wealth, the government of stealth, the images of liberty hang twisted tatters in the breeze. A casting system breathes, calling names by few, white the precious few, keeping social thumb upon, black and yellow, red and brown. A crisis soils our ground, the disciplinary stain that status quo remain. Keep the poor men on their knees, while fat men bob on crimson seas. A convention of insistent pleas that outrage cries be squelched, from dreamer rebels who are dealt outcast labels and exile tickets for their concerns to try and fix this. A company of learned misfits. What is education without integration? All truths for some, but for some lies. We hastily embrace demise. A country of the civilized. Heads are turned from squalid dumps, and bones the tricking addict jumps. Where helping hands could mean salvation, accepted blindness kills our nation. I'll tell you what is justice. A call to procreation. A curing of the simple mind, where thoughts of hate are left behind. Let parents bravely insurrect against the shadows of neglect, and teach their children to be kind. This is called The Day and the Night, and it's my reaction to my son getting hurt last Friday. It's my first cup of coffee at 11, and I know as my eyes slide down, I should be calling it a night, or at least drinking beer instead. But sometimes the memory is too vibrant, and comfort isn't allowed. It started with an angel's face, face down with Hayden. The back of the blonde head shone, hiding ever sad brown eyes, like a cherub tripped from heaven, and cast to drown in anguished tears, in a warm crimson pool on the ground. It was the Novocaine's miserable sting, and suffering 6 little stitches in an almost 6-year-old skin. It was red washing into his eyes as they scrubbed away gore, but not pain. It was the doctor roughly saying, "Rhoda, this doesn't hurt," and my heart being part of his that caused my soul to blubber. It was all the other times I've been in emergency rooms, the arm grotesquely angled, and the gouged nose with golf ball lump on his forehead, and the free cheek piercing from a dog's unselfish fangs. It was my insides in my throat, and the brick-colored spots on my sweater, and the all too familiar wondering how badly he'd be scarred, and the all too familiar dread of this happening again. Today's responsibilities blurred and packed together like wolves to devour, and the sober sky of slate pale sour, sweet, and foul as the sun slipped down to rest. But the rest was continued haze as black bled past the horizon, like ink from a fountain pen dripping down on a watercolor. 11:30's misty dark, and I should retire, like the one I call my Scarface, like the one I call my magnet for disaster. But the ink still seeps incessantly, like a reoccurring dream, where someone's chasing me. But my legs are of lead and brick, and the doctor's face creeps in, and she shakes her finger, scolding me, and she shakes her finger, scarlet-driven. This is untitled. Boredom, my dear, the rain to your garden, the glistening moisture to your aching soil, withered within from your ghastly view of children once laughing like sunflowers, suddenly mowed down like weeds, suddenly chopped and uprooted in their prime. The stories continue to grow. The building of neglect is never completely erected. The dreadful bricks of awful news still pile one upon the other, sealing in their terrible secrets like mortar. The grotesque gaps where life could be, should be, filled instead with broken, grinding pains. Behind the gypsy spider's webs lurk the father's dastardly deeds and the mother's drunken desolation. Behind the indolent pack of rats hides the dream of would-be prom queens and the sons, sweet and fair of birth, who swore they would be someone. The waste is tiresome of greed in a world where utopian suburbs are sold, are made extinct by rifles and machetes, and hate sells souls to the comfort of knives, and gutters seethe with the smell of stale men who search for a solace in gin. Yes, the fields of desperate times overtake us, blotting the sun like a giant tear. But still, dear, until it's called, there is tomorrow. Crazy I may be, that I still dare to dream. Allow me my foolish tears, and let them crash, recklessly sobbing, to irrigate your weariness. This is Dan's song. Melody smiles helplessly, so close I tiptoe inside you. Whispers light, barely there, pirouette on my skin. Music intrepidly quickens its pulse, low in my throat I feel its madness, blooming, drawing me faster, nearer to you. The notes spin the room, pounding percussion inside my chest. Irrevocable release wraps around us like magic, dusting the air in my eyes and my ears on our flesh, far from tepid. Symphony searing, harmony blaring, tango we tangle and melt into one.